So I thought I could kind of introduce the pairs by stack. That way it won't be too much all at once. So this is the top cage on the first stack. And this is Rainbow and Buster. Rainbow is a matriarch. She had a mate named Azul. No, that's her daughter. She had a mate named Aqua. And with him, she made Marine, who's not in here right now. Azul, which is her daughter right there, clearly. And Aquinas. Get it? Aqua, Aquinas. Over there. Among others. So I actually have a lot of chicks from her line. I have 3 of her direct babies, and then I have 9 of her grandbabies. Aqua died, though. And this is Buster, her new mate. So really, this mating is more about Buster than it is about Rainbow. I have a lot of Rainbow's progeny, but I don't have anything from Buster yet. Buster is a bird that I picked up from a show in Washington last year. He was a baby, and he was the scrawniest little, doesn't look any different than a regular parakeet bird I've ever seen in my life. He had air sac mites, he had stomach bugs of some kind or another, and he just wasn't doing very well. But after he made it through quarantine, I threw him out in the boys' flight cage, and I thought I'll probably won't use him for anything. I'll probably just end up selling him. And then about 6 months later, I walked out and looked at him, and he had developed this great, big, huge poof on the top of his head. So he is a tiny little bird. His head is like half of his body, and when his feathers are, relaxed and fluffed up, he's got a huge head, which is a great show quality. He also has a wonderful row of spots under his mask. 2 things that Rainbow completely lacks. Rainbow, on the other hand, has this massive size, so that's why these 2 are paired. Rainbow is at least 3 years old. She could be older than that. She doesn't have a band, and I don't know how old she was for sure when I got her. Buster is a 2017 baby, early 2017, so he's probably coming up on 2 years. So I have high hopes for them. They're both yellow faces, so I could get a double factor yellow face. Never had one of those before, so that would be exciting. She's a Spangle, so half the babies will be Spangle and half will be normal. And I'm just hoping to see Rainbow throw her usual massive babies with a little extra poof on the top of their heads. This will be Rainbow's last breeding for sure, and then it'll be time to pass her on. Buster, I don't know. I may keep him to breed to another hen at some later date, or I may pass them on together as a bonded pair. We'll have to see. Next cage down, this is Luscious and Limey. Limey's a Texas clear body. Luscious is a white-based gray opaline, and a spectacular girl. She has feathers like waterfalls. She's just beautiful. She does not have a great head, but hens often don't. But her feather literally drips off of her. A very, very dense, very long, soft feather. She's a beautiful bird. She has good size. Limey, he throws big chicks, but he himself is a pretty mediocre size. He also, late in life, developed something of a poof on his head. It's not perfect. He's a little narrow across the eyes. But he does have a nice little row of spots. His mask is not deep, but his biggest thing is that he's a Texas clear body, and I love that. So I am trying to start a Texas clear body line, and I want some babies out of them. These 2 should have, all their girls will be Texas clear bodies because it's a sex-linked trait, so they get it directly from dad. All the boys will be split to Texas clear body, so I can use any babies they give me to further my Texas clear body line because all of them will carry the trait. So far, Luscious, when I went to go trim her vent, I found that she has quite a little rash going down there. So she has that long, luscious feather, and what that means is she gets poo stuck on her back end, and she has a rash from it. So I've been putting a little ointment on her in the morning and the evening, and it's starting to look better already. But she's definitely moving a little slow. Limey is aggressive. He's aggressive to other males, and he's aggressive to females. So she's been holding him off. And when I say holding him off, I mean he's standing on her wing, pulling on her feathers with his beak, and trying to give her the bum's rush. And she turns around and bites the shit out of him and says, "Not gonna happen, baby." And he's finally starting to develop some manners. So she is taking her time, I think because she's been in some pain on the back end. But she is spending a significant amount of time peering into that nest box. These two have mated before and had live embryos, although none of them managed to hatch. I suspect that was because Luscious is afraid of me when I open the box. So every time I opened her nest box to do an egg count last time, she'd kick all of her eggs around like little ping pong balls. And she cracked them all, so the embryos would fail naturally. So this time I will not be opening her. I'll open her box twice. After I establish she has laid the first egg, I will leave her alone for a week, and then I will run her out to check for fertility. And then a week after that, I will run her out to do a cull, and that is all. So hopefully the eggs will survive a little better. And last pair on the first stack is Neon and Angel. I'm betting you can guess who's who. These were my first two birds, my first two parakeets. So Neon is probably coming up on 6 years old. And Angel's about 6 months to a year younger than him. Neon's actually half English budgie, so when we see them together, he's significantly larger than she is, but he didn't get any feather at all. So he looks just like a regular parakeet, only kind of big. They have been bred, this will be their 4th time, and in the past they have always raised their own chicks. This time they will not. I'm going to freeze their eggs and replace them with fosters from other nests. Specifically because we know that a witch plucks her chicks, they'll get at least one of her eggs, and because we're worried about Lola's parenting skills, they'll get at least one of her eggs. I won't give them more than 3 chicks to raise, although Angel has, without any problem, always raised 4 chicks of her own. They were little parakeet chicks, not great big budgie chicks. So I will not dream of trying to get her to raise 4 big budgie chicks. They're excellent parents, though, and I'm sure they can handle 3 just fine. So that's what their job is, to get some foster eggs going, to compensate for some of my other girls. So that is stack number 1. Rainbow and Buster, Limey and Luscious, and Neon and Angel.